Hey, hey, hey. How is everyone doing today? I just couldn't wait till 12 on the dot, so I decided to join a few minutes early. I'm super duper excited for this week and for today. If you missed yesterday, you can still catch the replay. This is our Limitless Virtual Summit brought to you by Joy Luck Club, and I am your host, Dion Joy. And let's just start off by showing some gratitude today and just being thankful and grateful that we woke up today. Let's be grateful that we have our health today. And let's be grateful that we have some awesome and amazing speakers that are coming by to drop some jewels and give you some words of wisdom. They're going to share their stories. You're going to get to know them a little bit better, and you are going to feel more motivated by the end of this day. Okay. So we're going to start out by saying, yesterday was World Mental Health Day, and we had some great discussions with some amazing women on what it takes to be limitless, what it takes to be unstoppable, the importance of community building, the importance of investing in yourself, and just keeping a positive mentality no matter what life throws your way, because we all know shit happens, right? We all know that life throws us curveballs, and sometimes it can become overwhelming. And so, since yesterday was World Mental Health Day, we decided to go into discussion about mental health. Some of our guests, including myself, has suffered from depression, anxiety, and different mental illnesses. We all know someone or have known someone that has experienced these things, and and our businesses and our industries and our careers, they don't stop even when we feel low, even when we feel overwhelmed. And sometimes you just need that extra boost. You need some resources, and that's where we come in. We offer you a support system. We put on events like this so that you can understand that you are not alone in your journey. And this is a free event. All of our guests are giving their time to you because we realize how important it is for a positive mindset, for mental health and things of that nature. And today is a great day in entertainment because all of my guests today are in the entertainment industry and work with entertainers. So I'm so excited. And my first guest that I'm going to bring to you right now is someone that known for a few years, and we are both located in the same area in the Washington D.C. metro area. Now, my guest has a very diverse professional history. Okay, so not only is he in the entertainment and sports industry, but he's also in business development and entrepreneurship. And he was nominated for an Emmy for producing in a web series called Anacasia, which he also starred in, which is super duper cool. And you can catch him most recently on Ready to Love DC. And I'm super duper excited to welcome my friend Walter Maxfield Jones.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's all love and it's always positive vibes when we meet. So this is just a perfect opportunity for you to come on and introduce yourself to my audience, and I can share some wisdom to them on behalf of an entrepreneur, on a successful Black man in this industry. And it's just so cool that you are here today. Thank you so much.
Like I said, I appreciate you having me. Let's talk. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, okay. First of all,
What do you want to know?
I just want to say that after we spoke last week, I kind of Instagram stalked you a little bit, and then I see in your profile that you were a comedian, and I actually saw a post of you doing comedy. So
Uh-huh.
before we go into this, Emmy stuff, let's go back and talk about this comedy and how you started.
Oh, wow. I feel like comedy started with my family, if that makes sense. Between Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and my family. I don't care what comedy show you go to or which comedian you think is the funniest. I really feel like the biggest laughs that you ever have are around your family. Like the falling out your chair, belly hard, tears coming down your face, usually happens around family. And my family, it was a mixture. They say a lot of comedians have pain. So the mixture between my mom was very strict. She was a master sergeant in the army, and she ran the house as such, like literally white gloved the bathroom, over the door sill, clean it all over again, clean it again. So you have a spicy Panamanian Latina master sergeant as a mom. And so really my home life never really felt that happy. I always felt like when I was at home, I was working. I felt like I was in the military. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was, just trying not to get her upset. And so whenever I was outside, I wanted everybody around me to be happy. I wanted everybody to be laughing and joking. Even some of my closest friends, their fathers weren't in the house. They had their own troubles at home, whether we were just struggling financially or whatever, or they were struggling financially or whatever we were going through as kids, being raised by single moms. Whenever I was out of the house, I wanted everybody to be smiling and laughing because I knew when I got back home, it was going to be serious again. So I think that's where it came from. And, I remember one time my mom was giving me a whooping. My mother, this might be where it really came from. My mom was giving me a whooping. And, I'm boo-hooing. And she was like, this hurts me more than it hurts you. And I was like, give me that belt. Let me show you how much it hurts. Like I was serious. Like, give me the belt. I'll show you how much it hurts, right? And she started cracking up. She started laughing. She was like, oh my God. And so that stopped my whooping. So I figured out real quick, like if I can make my mom laugh, I might stop this whooping. But she then got on the phone. My mom has 7 sisters and 3 brothers. She gets on the phone. She calls her sister like, Willamay, listen to this. Walter, tell her the story, right? It was Panamanian. Walter, tell her the story. So I tell her the story. And I do the punchline. Give me the belt. Let me show you how much worth. Oh, my aunt falls out. She on the phone. She's like, great, listen. I'm going to call you back. I got to call Quincy, right? She hangs up. She going through her phone book, calling all of her sisters. I think by the time we got to the 3rd sister, I was kind of tired of telling a joke, right? So, she calls Edith. She's like, Edith, listen to Walter. Walter, tell her the story. Mind you, she still got the belt in her hand the whole time. And I'm telling my Aunt Edith the story. And after she gets off the phone, my mom looks at me. She said, Walter, when you told Edith the story, it wasn't as funny as when you told Quincy. Now I still got to call Isabel. And when you call Isabel, it better be as funny. It better be as funny as it was when you called Edith. I'm like, because she still got the belt in her hand. Or else is whooping.
So you better have made it funny or you would have get that belt again.
Yeah, like don't think I didn't forget that I stopped this whooping short for this joke. You know what I mean? So I was like, I learned how to perform and make people laugh under pressure very early. So that was part of it. Yeah.
That's a great story. And then, it's funny because as you're telling the story, it's telling our age too, because you said she had to go through the phone book.
Yeah. She had a little black book, the black telephone book. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It is true because, I know a few comedians as well. And it's true, like everyone experiences pain, but you have to find joy in that pain, because otherwise there's no fun because throughout life shit will keep happening to you. So you can't stay miserable. So the fact that you can make people laugh from your pain and what you have gone through is amazing. And it's not easy to get on stage to make people laugh.
No, especially in certain cities. In certain cities, I'd probably say Baltimore is the toughest city to make Baltimore. They go there with the intention to not laugh.
They just know they want you to fail, huh?
Think you're funny, dummy. So yeah, they go with the intention not to laugh. So if you make them laugh in Baltimore, you can make them laugh anywhere. I think another tough city was like Toronto, just because of their the culture. They're not going to give you as much crowd participation. They're more reserved. You're like, yo, I know that joke was funny. They're like holding it in.
You need to switch it up. You gotta know your crowd too. That's
You
another
know,
thing. So
yeah, you
sometimes you
know,
gotta switch it up.
they come up to you after the show, was like, that was hilarious. You're like, I was watching you. You never laughed. They're like, no, you were hilarious. Trust me, we laugh on the inside.
Oh,
So
laugh on it.
no, but after I think sometimes it's my brand of comedy, and you know, everybody has their different style. I think by the second time or third time I went to Toronto to perform, the people that were coming back to see me like were ready for me, and they were, you know, falling out the chairs and all that type of stuff. I feel like I made it the first time I performed in New York, in Manhattan, and you know, I think there was like a 900 to 1,000 people there, and I had them cracking up. I was like, okay, that gave me the confidence to go in. And that was probably one of my first comedic performances was in New York, and I was like, if I can kill here, you know,
Right.
I have the confidence to kill anywhere. You know, everybody feels like New York is like, you know, the place that you really have to, you know, sharpen your knives. You know what I mean? Get your chops. So
Yeah,
yeah.
most definitely. And speaking of New York and how you got started and you said you made it, you felt that. So how did
Mm.
you transition from comedy and go to acting and producing?
You know, it was always a part of. I think everything was part of it. I don't think there was a transition from one to the other. Like I said, grew up in a house where, you know, if it was Thanksgiving, the kids had to perform. You know, if we ever had relatives in town, you had to put on a talent show. You better sing, dance, tell a joke, be a. If you couldn't sing, you better be the background dancer. You had to participate in the
Right.
show.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up playing the piano. You know, I was in a singing group when I was 16. I was always, like I said, anytime I was out the house, I was trying to make everybody laugh all the time. I really figured out that was a way to make friends, avoid gang violence. Growing up in California, you know, if you, I was able to connect with so many people through laughter, and
Mhm.
I think that most comedians um, are able to act because comedy is one of the most pure forms of entertainment. It's just you and the microphone, and you're having a one-sided conversation with however many people are in the audience, right?
Right.
And if you're scared, they can feel it. If you're uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable. So you have to be completely relaxed. And comedy is, I'd say, 90% telling the truth. The other 5% would be timing and your perspective. And acting is the truth. Like you have to be honest when you're acting. If you're faking it, or if you're lying, if it's not genuine, would tell people can tell you're acting, you're a bad actor, right? And I look at a lot of the comedians that turned to actors, and if you think about them, like if you think like a Jamie Foxx, right, and he turns to Ray. If you think about Tom Hanks, right, stand-up comedian turned actor, um, Eddie Murphy, you know, you can see that there is something. There's there Robin Williams. You know what I mean? There's something that ties that truth, that honesty that you have to have in front of an audience. There's something that ties that honesty and relates it to acting. Plus, like I said, a lot of the comedy comes from pain,
Right.
and so you know, instead of channeling it into laughter, you're able to channel it into your performance. You're able to tap into some of that pain and bring it out on camera. Um, I remember that when I first started acting, I was doing plays, and my friend wrote a play, Lamar Hill, one of the best spoken word artists ever. Um, he wrote a play, and in the play, his um, his mom dies in the play. The character's mom dies in the play, and about 3 weeks before the show, his mom actually died.
Ooh.
And during rehearsals, I refused to do the scene where I had to play out the mom. I was trying to save it. I didn't want to keep doing it in rehearsal. And I remember he comes back from his mom's funeral and was like, "Do the scene."
Mm.
And everybody, all the other actors were like, "Yo, you better nail this because he just lived it." You
Yeah.
know, so if you don't nail it, um, and you have to tap into certain places inside you in order to do it. And it was funny after I did that, after I tapped into that place, because I used to be one of those guys like men don't cry.
Hmm.
After I tapped into that place, it was hard for me to shut it off.
Mm.
Like I started crying at movies. Like I
Nothing
just
wrong
like
with that.
I sweat for no reason, for the littlest thing. I could see a commercial about a father and son, and I would just start. I'm like, yo, I don't know what. Like, I can't turn it off now.
Oh, my
I've
face
been
is leaking.
holding,
Oh.
I've been holding back my tears for for so long in my life, and now this play has forced me to let it out. 3 days a week, on stage for the next 3 months. And after it was done, I couldn't stop. And to this day, I still, I'm still emotional. I still can't. If I see a father and son commercial, I'll still leak. If I see a mother and son commercial, I still like I gotta lean back and start blinking, try to roll it back. Ah,
But oh, my allergies, man.
right, right. Eyes are sweating, excuse me. So,
Yeah, but see, that's amazing. And speaking of tapping into emotions and being natural, right? So I watched Torn. So guys, if you're watching, so Torn is on Amazon Prime.
yes.
And when I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's Tamika. I remember Tamika
Yep.
from I
Tamika
haven't
can
talked
act
to
her
her in a
butt off.
while.
Tamika Chavis, all hell.
Yeah. And I
That
was
girl
just
can act.
like, you guys, it was really natural. Like when I was watching, it was like, okay, it looks like y'all really having a conversation, or it looks like you guys are really, it was just really
Yeah.
cool to see two people that I know. And I'm like, oh, look at them going.
Yeah. don't
It was
don't
just
judge me
super
on Torn.
exciting.
So Torn. All right, when I first started acting, I always got cast as like the nice guy, the loving husband, lawyer, doctor, and in Torn, this is probably the softest role I've ever played in my life. Like the dude, like the guy, the director, producer was like, "All right, Walt, you're soft." Like we used to do scenes. He's like, "Walt, you can't do it like that." Like this guy is not tough. This guy has no edge. Like he came from a good family. He came from an upper, he never been tested. He's never been in a fight. Like, what I'm saying? Like, so I remember in preparing for Torn, I used to really try to, be a method actor. I gained 35 pounds for the movie.
Oh.
I wanted to like try to remove all sexy. I'm like, I need to remove all my sexy. I think I'm not going to use no lotion. I'm not going to moisturize the situation. I'm going to remove all my sexy. And, just to make it even more believable, why would she start drifting towards somebody else that's, a little tougher, a little stronger, has more edge? And so, I gained weight for the part and I really tried to play it as a guy that was just like the most sensitive, caring, trying to be the perfect husband type of guy. And so, with the I'm trying not to give the movie away, but with the infidelities that happen in the movie, I really tried to make it seem like this guy is just being torn apart and he's not really handling it well. Like he's just devastated off this thing. So I enjoyed playing it, but after that, after Torn, I was like, I don't ever want to play a guy that soft again. Like this dude's way too soft. People were coming at me like people that didn't know me is coming like, boy, you soft, boy, like you soft, boy. So I'm like, it's not me, it's a character. Like
I did it just that good. I'm just
you know
that
what I'm
good. You
saying? Like you
believed it.
soft, boy, you soft. You should did something. You just going. I was just,
That's how
so,
you
yeah.
know you're a good actor. People
Now, mind
come
you,
to you in the streets.
right? Because it was distributed in WalMarts worldwide. So, uh,
Oh, true.
yeah,
Okay.
and now it's on Amazon Prime. So yeah, I was getting recognized here and there, but yeah, it was definitely people telling me like, "Yo, you soft boy." so so like it's a character. I'm playing a character. Like it's not who I am. So, but
So,
I enjoyed playing it. big shout out to Frank Jackson for writing and directing
Hey,
and
Frank.
allowing me to be a part and also help allowing me to be an executive producer. I try to executive produce or try to contribute to all the films that I'm in, because if it ever does blow up, I want some equity. I want my cut. I want some
Yes.
skin in the game. I've learned that business side of the business. So, but I appreciate the opportunity to be involved in those films, and hopefully some more will come.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they will. And segueing
Mind
into
you,
the
that movie
next
is
conversation,
no,
we
no.
you
Mind you,
talk.
that movie's like 10 to 15 years old. Even though it's on Amazon Prime now, that was like 10, 15 years ago that I shot that movie. So
It
I'm
was a
better.
long time ago. I saw the baggy clothes and all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
Better. You saw
okay.
the baggy, you saw the sweats. You see how baggy the sweats are. It's
I
like
was
triple
like,
X.
okay, three
That's,
people could fit in those. I remember that must be
that's
1990.
when.
What was this?
Let me tell you, that's back when I was wearing like double and triple X t-shirts, and
That's how.
you know,
So let me ask you before we get too out the way. I want to go into you being nominated as a producer for Anacostia. So tell
uh,
me, what was that like?
Anacostia is based in Anacostia, DC. It's kind of like a Black Sex in the City meets Young and the Restless. If you can see, shout out to producer, writer, actor Anthony Anderson, who got nominated as an actor this year, and pretty probably she got nominated as a producer as well. But he got nominated for his acting in Anacostia this year, so I've got to give him his props on that. Um, and he gave me an opportunity to finally play a villain, and that for me, the opportunity to play a villain, that was probably more than the Emmy for me. Is just to be a part of an ensemble cast.
Right.
Like I said, for me to get the Emmy, all I did was put up a little bit of money, to be an executive producer.
Right, right.
It was really the writing, the directing, and the entire cast that made that got us the Emmy nod. I can't take much credit for it. I'll take credit for my role. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I definitely feel at one point I was probably the most hated person in web series on the internet. You know what I mean? My character Michael Stevenson was hated. I wasn't supposed to get that character. He actually called me for another character, the nice guy, the loving husband. You know, and shout out to Will Lash, who has been killing it. Yeah, he got the role as that husband, because I said I don't want to be a nice guy anymore. I want to be a villain. And Anthony was like, I don't see you as a villain. I don't think that you have it in you.
And you
Such a
showed him you
nice
had it
guy.
in you, huh?
And he's like, if you want that part, you're gonna have to audition. And by the time you audition, I'm gonna give your role that I had for you away to somebody else. So if you don't kill this audition, then you're not gonna be in it at all. And I remember I walked into that audition in character. I was being an, can I say asshole on here? I was being a straight asshole to everybody in there. Like I walked in, I was asshole to the woman at the, that was like checking you in, that was signing you in. I was an asshole to all the other actors that were sitting there waiting to audition.
I was in character the whole as soon as I entered the building.
I literally was in character. I did not. I was in character. I was in character driving there. Like I was in it. And
Cussing people out on the way
yeah,
driving.
seriously, like, yeah, just cursing people out, road rage. And by the time I auditioned with Tamika, who auditioned opposite of me, she already had the role. Um, you know, we did the scene, and she ran out crying because it was like one of those emotionally abusive scenes that ended up actually in, like, I think it was like the episode 1 or episode 3 of the series. It was like a very emotionally abusive scene. And I remember Anthony chased after her and was like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "What's wrong?" She said it was too real.
Right.
And that's how I got the part. So yeah, that
Oh.
to me, that audition, getting the part, meant more to me than anything else that we did in the series. It made me tap into a a different part of myself, and gave me the confidence to say, yeah, if I really wanted to do this thing, I could do it. You know.
Yeah, man. And speaking of confidence and all that it takes to not only be in character, get in character, stay in character, but how, like, what did you experience in all of these years that led you to feel more confident and to know that you can go after what you wanted to?
Um, I can't. I started out very shy. I was a really shy child. Like I was, horrible stage fright, knees shaking, stomach, butterflies in my stomach, voice quivering, you know. But once I was on stage, I really had no choice but to perform. And it could have been my mom with the belt. Like literally, I had no choice. You will be in a church play. You will play Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And people will convert to Christianity based upon your performance, or you're going to catch this ass whooping, you know?
So it was the
And,
threats. The threats did it.
oh, the threats. I mean, everything was an ass whooping. It was either the ass whooping, I shouldn't say either, because it was all combined. You're going to get whooped, no TV, no telephone, and you can't go outside and play until whenever, right? Till forever. I think I was on restriction for 3 years at one point. But yeah, there was always pressure for me to be the best. Always pressure for me to succeed. Like, if she it was always that. I always had to be twice as good as everybody else.
Mm.
Um, and so that was part of growing up for me. That was just, I learned how to function in that space. So when it's applied to anything else, it's like, okay, here it is. It's time to flip the switch. So eventually, being on stage became more comfortable than not being on stage. Um, and So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but
Yes, partly. Yeah, I just want to know, like, because all of us have faced some sort of challenges,
Mm,
obstacles. I don't know if not being confident was your only obstacle, but did it ever come a time where you wanted to give up, or that
always,
things got really, really hard? Was it
always.
anything like that? And then how did you overcome that? Like, what happened?
Okay. So like I said, I really feel like, this is probably the first time I've ever said this publicly. I really feel like most of my life I was probably functionally depressed.
Hmm.
That makes sense. You know
Yes,
what I
it
mean?
does, definitely.
Uh, because of the environment, and the things that I did, but I think I did healthy things in order to cope with it. Right. I was always a student athlete. I always pushed myself, probably pushed myself too hard. Whether it was being teased growing up because I had on the wrong jeans and the wrong shoes. I remember telling my mom, she's from Panama, she's not going to buy me $100 tennis shoes. Like,
Right.
no, I'm going to give you $30. I'm like, Mom, I can't buy nothing with $30. you know, Everybody had Jordans. I had Jordache shoes. People were like, Jordache makes shoes? I thought Jordache only made jeans. Can you imagine how teased I got showing up? My mom was like, I bought you the Jordans. I was like, those are not Jordans. Oh my God. You gonna wear them? Ah, man. So so I always had to be resourceful. I was
Yeah,
like, next
man.
time, Mom, just give me the $30. And I remember she gave me the $30 to buy shoes, and I needed to get $75 to buy the Nike flights. And I saw a commercial for like Costco. It was like 100 blow pops for $10 in a bag. And I was like, $100. I said I could sell blow pops for 25 cents, make $25. I got $30. I can make $75, pay for my shoes. Went Costco, got 3 bags of blow pops. I was on campus on junior high selling my blow pops. You got change? Nope. You got to buy 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the girls licking blow pops. All the dudes wanted to, junior high, you just spilled with hormones.
Nice. That's the
Everybody buying.
entrepreneurial spirit
Yeah.
right there. I
So
love it.
I'm selling out bags of blow pops like nothing. And I was like, you know what? Instead of buying new shoes, I'm gonna I'm gonna put 25 bucks in my pocket. I'm gonna take the other 50. I'm gonna buy 5 bags of blow pops. And pretty soon I had people selling blow pops for me. I had my shoes. I
The
had some
legal
money in
hustle.
my
Yes,
pocket,
I love it.
But I remember like I said, the first time a lesson that I learned, the first time I performed in New York, in Manhattan, Santos Party House. It was my first time doing comedy, the first time ever being introduced as a comedian. And I didn't consider myself a comedian. I considered myself a host. I used to host poetry shows. And I remember walking up to the mic. I had no idea what I was going to say. And I remember praying, like, God, please give me the words, And like, it's funny because when they introduced me, people in New York, they didn't know who I was. I saw somebody do like this, like Walter Maxfield Jones. Somebody was like, "What?" Like stop. Like,
They paused mid clap, huh?
what? Like, who is this dude? So I'm coming to the stage and it's silent. And I just remember, like, I was like, God, please, spotlights on the mic. And I was just like, what's up, New York? And what I'm saying, whatever. Brooklyn, make some noise. Whatever I heard on Def Comedy Jam, And the crowd went crazy, and I ended up doing like a 45-minute set. But at that moment, I realized, and I ended up stringing together every joke that I did on the open mic scene. I used to crack all these little nasty jokes in between poets, and I just strung them all together, right? 12 years of hosting, and I was able to come up. And at that moment, I realized that everything I've ever done in my life has prepared me for the moment that I'm in.
Right.
So there's never a need for me to be scared or anxious.
Yes.
Because I'm prepared. Like whatever pain, whatever I've been through, if I'm able to tap into what comedy stories, whatever it may be, I'm prepared for this moment. If you believe in the universe or you believe in God, whatever you believe in, understand that you are prepared for the moment that you're in, whether that's on stage, whether that's you're in a room full of billionaires. You're in that room for a reason. And whatever you've been through in your life has brought you there and has prepared you for it. So just relax and be yourself. Because if I'm going to live and die, I'm going to live and die on who I am, not who I'm trying to be, not trying to, well, I'm Walter Maxfield Jones, and I've lost on the business side. I feel like I've lost contracts. I've lost even in acting. I feel like I've lost contracts or money or opportunities because I tried to be something that I wasn't, as opposed to just relaxing and say, hey, this is who I am, man. And I remember losing out on an audition, and because I tried to do some character, and I was like, you know what, Walt, be yourself, because now you're overthinking on the way home, like, man, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have did that, as opposed to, man, hey, they know who I am now. Whether I got the role or not, they know who I am now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so that's what if there's any lesson I learned, one of the lessons I should say learned is be yourself. Be yourself and just be comfortable in that moment. You are prepared. You're supposed to be there, and act accordingly.
Great words and great advice, because a lot of people do get caught up in pretending to be something that they're not, or portraying or mimicking someone else.
Yeah.
And I am such a believer in being your true authentic self, because that's how I am. I'm like, you're going to love me or you're going to hate me, but it's going to be me, not because of what I'm pretending to be. So, we all have to make sure we don't get lost and still be comfortable with who we are. Like you said, you gained your confidence, and what I want to do is bring you back on for a part 2, because there's still so much we didn't dive into, which was you being on Ready to Love DC. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know about anybody else, but I really want to know what happened and if you found love and how that's going. And we have to talk about your entrepreneurial journey, the boxing, and all of these things that you're doing with the youth. So we'll reconvene later, and then we'll let everyone know when you're going to come back for part 2.
My apologies for being so long-winded. I'll make sure I'm gonna keep my answers.
No, this is perfect. This is perfect. I love it because it's very insightful and people want to know who you are. And so, I'm just appreciative for you being a part of my summit and coming on and sharing a bit of yourself with me and the audience. You know, it's all love. I appreciate you so much, and
Thank you.
you are destined for great things. And we're gonna come back to see me.
All right, good
So
deal.
thank you to Walter Maxfield Jones, everyone. And before we go, tell everyone how they can contact you.
Oh, follow me on Instagram. What Walt can do. Everything is what Walt can do. Twitter, IG, the website. Everything's what Walt can do.
And I bet Walt can do a lot, huh? So,
Don't stop it.
so you
Watch it.
get out of here. You have a good day. I'm gonna talk to you
Have a
later.
good one.
Oh man, so that was a great conversation with Walter Maxfield Jones, guys. You know, we were just getting started, and we're going to keep it going and have more conversations with our next guest. And yeah, so today we are interviewing guests from the entertainment industry, and we have a few experts. So that was Walter Maxfield Jones, Emmy nominated producer and actor. And now I'm going to bring to you another special guest who I'm so excited to bring here. And this young man is a pioneer in the industry. He's doing big things, he's definitely leveling up, and you probably heard some of his work if you are on Pandora, you know. And I want to bring on Josh J1 Rayford, who is the vice president of music streaming for SXM and Pandora Radio. Thank you so much for being here, Josh. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course. We're blessed, and you are amazing at what you do. When I was looking for speakers, we were connected, and I found you, and I thought this would be so amazing if this young man could come and let me interview him, and you agreed to do it, and I'm so excited, and I want to thank you for that.
No, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me on your great platform.
I appreciate that. Now, before we get into the Q&A and I start really grilling you, why don't you just tell everyone who you are and what you do?
Sure. Like I said, my name is Josh Rayford. Everybody calls me J1, and that comes from my DJ days. I started out as a DJ in Atlanta, Georgia, and was blessed with the opportunity to get an internship at Radio One and work my ranks from everything from an intern on air mixer to a on air personality, assistant program director. I moved around to different markets from Atlanta to Indianapolis to Washington, D.C. And then in 2019, I was recruited by Pandora to become their head of hip hop. And I've relocated back to Atlanta because I wanted to come back here and live my life close to my friends and family. And the past 3.5 years, I've had the opportunity to get promoted to different positions. And earlier this year, I was promoted to the level of vice president. And here I am now.
That is so exciting and definitely inspirational because you just let everyone know that you didn't just get there overnight. You put in hard work. It took years. It took determination. You had to start from the bottom, so they say, and then work your way up. Now, I know that this industry that you are in is very competitive. So, how were you able to get to where you are today? Besides, climbing the ladder.
No, absolutely. I tell people all the time, and they probably hear this, that this industry is all about relationships. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know and who knows you. But the most important relationship that you have to start with first is your relationship with God. So I know my success is based off of that. And also just doing my best to move with integrity, following up with people, doing what I said I was going to do, and acknowledging my mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes throughout my career. I still make mistakes. The best thing that you can do from your mistakes is learn from them and apologize when necessary, and genuinely apologize and move on, and try not to make the same mistake multiple times.
Yeah, because after the first maybe two, you may get two, but after that, it's not. a mistake, it's a choice. you know. And
Absolutely.
so I definitely agree with what you said. And what I want to ask next is, being a person of color, but also a man, a black man, how has that affected you in your profession?
Sure. You know, I wouldn't trade being a black man for anything in the world. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of where I came from. I'm proud of my heritage. It definitely has been a challenge because there are always preconceived notions about black men and women in the corporate space. If you're a black man, sometimes it's the perception that we're lazy or that we're angry, and the same thing goes for black women as well. As is she angry? Where you see sometimes our counterparts who don't necessarily look like us, they have a certain level of autonomy that we don't necessarily have. Uh, and that's not in all cases, but it's in a lot of cases. I mean, I always use the example of our previous presidents, talking about Barack Obama and Donald Trump. President Obama couldn't have gotten away with half of the stuff or a quarter of the stuff that Trump was able to get away with. And say what you want about it, the main difference was their nationalities and their color. So that is a microcosm of society and corporate America. But I've never let it defer me or discourage me. It just means I have to be more on point. I have to be very mindful of my words, my actions, my tone, but still be authentic, not being just conforming just to conform, knowing when to speak up and when to hold back, when to lead and when to follow. So it's always a heightened sense of awareness.
Yeah, and that's well stated, because a lot of the times when we see people such as yourself, we don't understand what you had to go through to get to where you are today, and the challenges you had to face, because from our perspective, you're just there, right? And and you're in this high position of power, or you're able to do things that people under you cannot do. But the fact that you had to face some obstacles to get there, not only because of your skin color, but just because of the way people look at people with our skin color. It's just it's just both of those. So not only that we have to be ourselves, but just the perception, like you said, people think that we're angry, or people think that we are whatever just by looking at us. So people don't really, like, when I look at you, of course I don't see that. I don't see that you had to deal with stuff. I'm like, oh man, look at this brother right here. Like, look at him go. He's here and he's doing it. But this is why we have this platform, because I want for you to share, like, no, I really had to, do certain things to get here. And did it take longer for you to get there, do you think? Or do you think you got to where you are at a good rate?
I always think about that, and I always come to the conclusion I'm where I'm supposed to be at the time I'm supposed to be at.
Yes, I love it. Yeah. And the fact that you are there is just awesome, because you are a great example of a leader for young black men to look up to, and then they can look and aspire to be and know that they can be in a position of power, and that there is a way that they can get there, and they can still be patient and work their way up. They don't have to think that it's I'm gonna blink and I'm gonna be there. It's hard work and lots of effort. Now, you also mentioned it's who you know. So I'm pretty sure you build lots of relationships along the way in your career. Now, do you have any relationships particular that were more impactful to you getting to where you are today?
Absolutely. I mean, definitely I've had managers and supervisors who have helped me along the way, and it goes both ways. I mean, you can learn things from managers who might not be so great. Uh, you can learn from their example. I learned a lot just by watching people, as opposed to directly asking them questions. Of course, I ask questions, but you can learn more through a person's actions, and how they operate in different situations than sometimes you can by their words. So there are plenty of people along the way who've helped me in different forms and fashion, and I just try to learn something from everybody, whether it's the head of the company, the different vice presidents, or even somebody coming in as an intern because they have a different perspective. And I feel like diversity is strength. If you want to be an effective leader, you can't just see things through your lens. You want to get opinions from other people and understand other people's perspectives, and then from there, when you have the most information as possible to make the best decision. Might not always be the right decision, and at the end of the day, any leader you're gonna take the blame if it goes wrong, but you at least want to you want to get people involved in the process, and that makes people feel empowered and gives them a sense of belonging.
Most definitely. Now, let me ask you, on your journey to get to where you are, did you ever think about quitting and say, you know what, this isn't for me, or I want to do something else, this is too hard? And if you ever felt that way, why didn't you give up?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it, and I've thought about it multiple times. Um, I think the thing that keeps me going is just reminding myself that God has me here for a reason, and knowing that no matter what I'm facing at the time, He's always provided a way to get through it, or teach me some lesson through it. And though some situations might be uncomfortable at the present time, it's not always going to feel uncomfortable. So you kind of have to just weather each storm as it comes along, and know that it's not going to be the end of the world, or it's not going to make or break you. So, those times that I've wanted to quit and do something else, you just have to have that sense of awareness, and kind of identify, why do I feel this way? Is it something that I'm temporarily dealing with? Am I just upset over how a conversation went or how a situation went? Is this something that is going to be a 5 hour issue, a 5 minute issue, a 5 month issue? Or is this something like by tomorrow, nobody's going to be thinking about it? So you just kind of have to put things in perspective.
Definitely. And did you always know that this is what you wanted to do, or did it just kind of like you just stumbled upon it? And like, how did that work? How did you get to work at Pandora from being a DJ?
So, I mean, I always knew from a young age I wanted to be in the music business, and I wanted to be a music executive because I grew up seeing people like Kevin Liles and Sean Combs and Dame Dash and Steve Stout. And here these guys were, they were they were the brains behind the operation. They were young black executives who looked like me, talked like me, dressed like me. They weren't wearing the suits and ties, and that's when I really saw myself. So I always knew I wanted to be in music and entertainment. But like anything, um, it took its twists and turns. It looked different at times, and when I was coming up, nobody was really thinking about streaming or anything like that. Streaming hadn't really been established at that point in time.
Right.
Napster, and I think Pandora was just coming on the scene, but nobody really saw how big it could become. But what I tell a lot of people is, if you have a dream, it's like, hold on to your dream, but be flexible about how you achieve it. I think sometimes we get so focused on a goal or a vision that we get to the point that it got to look like this or it's going to go like this, but and it doesn't allow you to pivot
Right.
or make the proper adjustments. And sometimes adjustments aren't bad. You're still going forward, but like it's like if I'm going to a destination, if I'm driving from Atlanta to Charlotte, right, and I'm taking 85, but let's say there's a major accident on 85 and it's blocked up, and my GPS says, well, you got to go this other way. You got to go through the side roads. You got to make this turn, go that turn. It's like you still going to Charlotte. You just a different route than what you expected. And it's going to look different. It's going to feel different. But ultimately, you're still going to get
Get
there.
there. Yeah. I love that analogy. I use the driving analogy a lot too.
Yeah.
Even if it's, looking in the rear view mirror, like, you can't see where you're going if you keep looking back, stuff like that. You always got to keep focus on your destination. And that is well said. And I'm curious to ask you, like, what were some of the highlights in your career? Like some of the people that you've met, or maybe some of the things that you have done or created?
Sure. I mean, most recently, I guess the highlight was giving Lil Baby uh, an honorary plaque from Pandora because he has over 4 billion US streams on the platform. And right now, Lil Baby is one of my favorite rappers, especially me living in Atlanta and his story and watching his documentary and just being a fan of Quality Control Music, Coach and P, and just seeing their journey from when they first started out. So that was a real highlight for me. I love celebrating artists and giving them their flowers while they're still around. I think so many times, whether it's artists or people, we want to celebrate them when they're gone, but people should be able to celebrate their celebrate their achievements while they're alive and with their fans and stuff. So I really enjoy doing that. And the other month I gave a plaque to DJ Drama and Megan Thee Stallion. So those to me, like within my Pandora journey, has been kind of like the highlights and stuff. It's not so much meeting the artists or anything because I've met them all before, but just seeing their reaction. And you think these guys are multimillionaires, they've done it all, they've seen it all, but you can still see that joy and excitement. Like, man, somebody is acknowledging my work.
Mm. That's a powerful feeling, that you're giving someone. So I'm sure that you feel it too.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That's what I'm about too, spreading the love, spreading the joy, that positive vibration. It's contagious and it feels good when you have that energy around you. I also want to know, Vice President of Music Streaming, what exactly does that mean? Are you responsible for the music that is played, or how does that work?
Yeah, so my main focus is black music on the platform, but just kind of overseeing like um, what we're putting in, what people are listening to, different listening experiences, capturing moments, different content opportunities across both SiriusXM and Pandora. Um, a lot of my focus is here in Atlanta because we're one of the only streaming platforms that does have an office or a base of operations down here. So, I try to do as many events or create unique listening experiences or fan experiences down here. So it's a lot. That's pretty much like what I do on a day-to-day basis. I mean, there's much more, but I can't really bore you with the details and stuff. So I just gave an overview.
Okay. Well, no, that's definitely not a bore for me, at least. I just love to hear how things work and so intrigued about what people do. And you, like I said before, are a very positive role model for young Black men. Now, what advice would you give to maybe even your younger self right now, and that that you know now that you didn't know when you were younger?
Give yourself grace. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learn from them. grow from them, and continue to move forward. You know, not everything is going to be the perfect situation. Not everything is going to be comfortable, but if you just keep moving forward, it's going to work out.
I love that. Now, when you were younger throughout your career, when you talked about relationships and you said you were able to learn from others in the industry, were they more so like mentors, or was it more like a business, like I'm learning as an intern? Like, how did that work?
It was both. I
Okay.
had some mentors along the way, people that took me under their wing and would sit me down and really teach me about the industry. And then there was others that I just learned the business from. There were people that I observed from afar. There were people within the company that I would observe and maybe had a couple of conversations with, but took stuff away from. You know, again, you can learn from pretty much everybody. There's a
Right.
lesson from every interaction you have with a person, whether it's a positive one or a negative one, you're going to learn something. So I kind of go in with that sponge mindset of, okay, you know, what is the lesson here? Why am I interacting with this person? What what's something that I need to take away from this?
Hmm. And do you believe that that was an integral part in becoming who you are today, was learning from others and having that network of people that you could reach out to and learn from?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to treat everybody with respect, regardless of what their position is and what you think they can do for you, because I was that intern just starting out, not knowing anybody, and there were people that overlooked me, but then there were people that really embraced me inside and outside the building, and you never forget that. You
Right.
might not necessarily remember what everybody says, but you remember how they made you feel, you know.
That is true.
So I remember the people that saw something in me and gave me opportunities when nobody else will. And those are people to this day. They call me up and ask me for a favor. I'm going to do my best to accommodate them because, again, I'm very thankful for the hand and the role that they played in my career.
And that is great that you feel that way. And I'm pretty sure that if you're still in contact with them, or even not, that they see you now and are so proud of you and who you have become today. Are you mentoring anybody at this point, or is that something that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I've mentored different people. I've brought people in on my staff that I'm constantly teaching and helping to grow and helping them to achieve their goals and dreams. You know, I'm part of the SiriusXM Pandora mentorship program. So I've been a mentee. So now I'm going to be a mentor. And now I just got to figure out who I'm going to mentor because I've had a couple people reach out and sign up. So I have to go through that. I've been a mentor for outside programs. And also, I always make myself available to people that reach out, um, whether they're in the company or not, especially young Black men and women who, like myself, have that hunger and that desire and just want to learn. Um, you know, even though I had great people along the way when I first started out, especially in college or coming out of college, there wasn't as many resources available as far as people being open or wanting to teach and stuff. And maybe it was partially me. I didn't know how to go about it at that time, but going to a HBCU, I'm very intentional as far as like making myself available whenever they need me, whether it's going to speak at classes or if somebody looks me up on LinkedIn and I know that they graduated or went to Morehouse or are attending Morehouse, I'm always going to try to do my best to give that person time. Uh,
Hmm.
HBCUs hold a special place in my heart.
That's amazing. And if someone did want the opportunity to have you as a mentor, what is that process like?
I mean, it really just depends on like who the person is, what they're looking to get out of it, what their expectations are, and also what they're bringing to the table. What I tell most people as a mentee, it needs to be a two-way street. Whenever I've been mentored by somebody, yeah, I've listened and soaked in their knowledge, but I also ask, like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And for me, like, I like talking to young black men and women because they have a different perspective. They see the world differently than I see it at this point in my life. So I want to know what you think about a situation. I want to know what you think about this artist or this song or this possible event. How does it look in your eyes? And be truthful with me. If you don't think it's a good idea or you don't like the song, tell me. The young lady who's on my team right now is like my right hand. She's quick to tell me if like she's not feeling the song or an album and stuff, and I appreciate that because again, she represents a different demographic and a
Right.
different way of listening and stuff. I can't just program stuff based off of an African American male. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not gonna work. So again, I always like hearing different people's perspectives, especially those who might not necessarily look or sound like me.
Yeah, and that's very important, just to be very diverse and also not be closed minded, because a lot of times some people think that it's like their way or no way, or my opinion is the only one that matters. And that is definitely not the way to be if you want to be successful, you know. And I, you're doing so many positive things. The fact that you are mentoring other young people of color is amazing. And the advice that you gave about, just being able to climb the ladder and being patient, and it's all about who you know, about getting a mentor, is very valuable information. So before we wrap up, if anyone wanted to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Sure, you can reach out to me on my social media on my LinkedIn. It's Joshua Rayford on LinkedIn. And then my social media is Poster Child, POSTERCHILD, letter J, number one, on Twitter and Instagram. And you can reach me like that.
That's amazing. So you guys heard it first. And also, Josh, I want to say, I applaud you for all that you have done and accomplished thus far. And it's a great honor to be here talking to you and learning from you and having you in my network, because that's what it's all about. I'm all about spreading the love, the joy, collaborating, giving people good insight and wisdom and connecting people together. So the fact that you are my network, I'm excited for that. And this is just the beginning of our mutually beneficial relationship. So, this won't be the last time that we speak and connect together. And I just want to thank you again and hope that you have an amazing rest of your week.
You too. Thank you again for having me on your platform.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.
Same to you. Have a great day.
You too. Yay. So this has been an amazing day thus far, and I'm going to bring out my final guest for the day. Now, we have heard from an Emmy nominated producer and actor. We have also heard from the vice president of music streaming of Pandora Radio. And now I'm going to bring this awesome and amazing lady who is a light in my life right now. And we connected on LinkedIn as well. She is a mother, a business owner, a global publicist, a media expert, the owner of Zavo Media PR. This beautiful lady in front of me, Miss Liana Zavo. Hey.
Hello. Hi, Dion. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for
Excited.
being here. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, right? I mean, this is day two, no?
Yes. Day
Wow.
two. We are in it.
In it to win it. That's all.
Yes. And then those of you who are watching, Liana was the brains behind coming up with the summit, is a great idea. And here we are. We put it together. It hasn't even been, I don't think, 3 weeks when we had the idea. And you're like, wait, you should do a summit.
And your face was like, wait, what?
All right. And I was like, okay, all right. Let's see how this is going to work. And it is going really good. It's going really good.
I know. You were a little lost when I told you that. You're like, wait.
Yeah. I was like, I've never done it. How do I do that? What is that? And here we are. So before we get into our interview, I want you to please introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you so much again for having me here, Dion. It's such a joy to be here, right? I am a publicist, a PR strategist, an author, a speaker, CEO and founder of Zabo Media PR Group, a Forbes columnist and Forbes thought leader. I am also on the YEC Council, and I am inspiring the next generation, giving voice to the voiceless. I've mentored over 2,000 people now, 2,000 women specifically in high schools, orphanages, and first year of college. I actually went back to the college that I dropped out of and mentored girls there when I wrote my book, Be Epic, Be Seen and Be Heard. That was like the biggest highlight of my life, going back to the college you dropped out of, and now you come with a book like, hey, I'm here to inspire y'all, So yeah, so that was the biggest aha moment for me. And I'm just building an empire, one launch at a time. And
I love it.
I am a mother to a 16-year-old. Yes, he drives
me. Likewise, look, our children are the same age, and
but
as one college dropout to another.
He's a driving force behind everything that I do. My son, he's a solopreneur himself, so I made sure that he is independent and does his thing from a young age.
I can't wait to see him in the press.
Soon, yeah, he can't wait himself. Yeah.
That is so cool. So, all right, we're going to get right into it. So I want you to please just elaborate more on how your business is affecting women, because I know personally, but I want you to share with everyone.
Yeah, with you, for example, you come, I'm just literally going to set you as an example, right? When I first found you, when my team reached out to you on LinkedIn, we were looking for women that have no voice in the press, but have a potential to have a voice and who have a story. So when we saw your profile with so many followers, I'm like, okay, well, she definitely has a following. It's not like you have a couple hundred, you have thousands of followers, right? To be 15,000, I believe. Mm-hmm. So that was the first thing that actually got our attention. The second thing is the fact that you know how to build a community. It already shows on your LinkedIn profile. That's why I always say LinkedIn is so underrated. Everyone should have a LinkedIn profile. Everyone should have their own personal page, right? That's how you build your own personal brand. Even though if you're working for someone, if you're an employee, 9 to 5, you have to build your own personal brand, build your own online reputation. Everyone is replaceable, and I always say I'm unemployable. I can't ever stay employed by anyone, So I started my own company. I've always done my own thing. I was always a freelancer. So I decided, to give women a voice, and what we're doing, we're impacting women. I mean, men as well. But women are more intimidated to tell their story than men. Men are kind of like, this is what it is, we'll say it how it is. And women are a bit more reserved. And to tell their story takes a lot of vulnerability. And, in order for you to be vulnerable, you need to just say, this is how it's going to be. Let them learn from me. Basically saying, fuck it. Excuse me for my French. Like, it is what it is, right? So in order for you to say that, you need to be comfortable in your own story, right? And that's what I do. I make sure that your story resonates. And how does it resonate? By making sure that, okay, Dion, this will be a perfect time for a summit. do this. So I strategize, right? I make sure I put you on the right path. I make sure that your story, the angle resonates with the media, that the public will like, wow, this is something that's hitting home for me, So that's my goal as a strategist. I have to obviously have 125 people working for me who are publicists, who are smarter than me. I don't surround myself with people that are, don't have talent. Obviously, they need to have more talent than I do. So we always put together, since my company went global as well, we are in Dubai, London, Singapore, Australia, and Paris. So there's a lot of people working there as well, freelancers. And yeah, I mean, it has been such an amazing experience working with women, especially, and elevating their voice and just helping tell their story. That's what I do. I give voice to the voiceless.
You definitely do. And I'm a testament to that. And since we started on our journey less than 3 months ago, I've been featured in the national press multiple times. We have a couple of things coming up, and then we have a summit. These are things that Dion Joy did not think of doing, or did not think that I was capable of doing at that time. And you definitely brought a voice to me and helped more people see me. And I'm just happy that you and or your team found me, because when I saw that message, I was like, you know what, this is definitely what I need. Let me call and find out more, because that's where I'm going. And so you came at the perfect time. It was exactly what I needed. And I'm pretty sure for most of your clients is the same way. So in your journey to become this phenomenon globally, like, how did it happen? I know it didn't start this way. So can you kind of tell me how you started out to get to where you are today?
We started from the bottom, now we're here. I come from a really wealthy family. I could have had the easy route and just piggyback off my dad. He's in hospitality. We have over 40 restaurants. We had a restaurant in the city as well, on the Upper East Side. And it was a no-brainer, right? Just to go and work with the family. But from a young age, I always wanted to take the road less traveled, right? And so, if you know that poem by Robert Frost, he explains there are two roads, and there's one road where everyone travels. It's kind of easy, and people are taking that route. And there's a road that's less traveled and less taken. And it always kind of like, when I looked at that picture with that poem, I'm a lone wolf. Like, I'm a loner. I do things on my own and I enjoy it. And I knew that I have this entrepreneurship in me, the entrepreneurial spirit in me. I take it after my dad. And my grandmother from my mom's side, she was a journalist traveling the world. And she was a very, very accomplished journalist. And so I wanted to take after her and combine that with the entrepreneur, be me being an entrepreneur and create a company. And I had all these thoughts when I was a young child. I was like a teenager. But unfortunately, coming from the background that I am, a little bit conservative, and my parents, especially my mom, she was totally against it. No, you shouldn't be pursuing that. You're not going to be with the family. You'll be traveling. I personally think she was traumatized by her mom's journey of not being home, because she was always shy journalist and she was with her father, so she didn't have that bond with her mom. So she took that out on me, because I told her, look, I really want to do what grandma used to do. I have it in me. I'm a great writer from a young age. And she totally was against. I mean, what can you do when your mom is against, your future dreams and plans, right? Sabotaging you. And so, I really wanted to I wanted to get out of the house. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to get out of the house somehow if I need to get married. So I got married at 18, found my husband, got married. Obviously, there was whatever it was at that age, lust and love. And so got married, had my son, and then did speech pathology. I pursued speech pathology. I went to Queens College, which was close to I thought speech and whatever. But it was nothing close to what I wanted to pursue, journalism and communications and PR. And so after 2.5 years, 3 years of struggling, I decided to drop out. I'm like, this is not for me. At the 3 years of college, I wasted my time. I would literally say I wasted my time. I didn't learn one single thing in college. Um, so the only thing I did in college was I was pregnant with my son. I was going in between classes. I was breast pumping. I was doing so many things at once that I'm like, I'm multitasking in freaking college, which is not even bringing me anything. And I'm working. I was doing so many things at once. It overwhelmed me. And then I decided to just get a divorce. I'm like, this is not for me. This is not the life I have in mind. So the best thing that I ever did was to get a divorce.
And so, how did you, from getting the divorce, pick up the pieces to be able to start your company and to go global?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, missing parts like I had to put together, obviously. So moving parts. You can definitely, buy my book, guys. Be Epic, Be Seen and Be Heard. You can definitely read about my memoir there, a bit of what I went through. I was always gifted with style and to do hair. And so I decided to get my cosmetology degree, and I became a cosmetologist. And I did that for 7 years. I colored hair. I was a colorist in like top hotels and salons in the city, New York City. And after that, I got bored. I'm like, you know what? I think there's something more for me. For me, I'm always like, I get very bored easily. If I achieve something or accomplish something and it doesn't keep me like entertained, or I'm not being challenged by it, I have to move on to the next thing. It's
Yes.
with everything like that. It has to keep me challenged. So I basically conquered it, right? That industry of cosmetology. I was amazing at what I did. I had great clients. And I said to myself, I was a freelancer. So I freelanced. And then I decided to open up my own company, a styling concierge company, where I would style clients in hotels, right? And they would just call me up and I would go with them to Broderick Goodman, Saks Fifth Ave, anywhere, right, to style them for a charity event, for maybe a cocktail party. And so I would be their stylist, and I had 10 girls working for me. That's where I was building my entrepreneurial, like, I guess, my journey and my expertise and how to manage a team and how to, be able to navigate and be a leader, not a boss, telling them what to do. It was always a collaboration. And slowly, and then, in the meantime, like, I was always writing. I was always blogging about things. So I always blogged about style. I always blogged about what I did and how, a certain type of outfit will look at you with your body, with your color coordination. Every tone has. So it was always something in me that I loved storytelling. Right? Obviously, storytelling is all about telling your story and making sure the public is enticed by it, right? Resonates with it. And so slowly, I had my company, and that also, another 5 years there, got me, a bit. I got a little bored of it again. I'm like, okay, I gotta do something that I really want to do, and it was always something that I was pushing myself again to do, PR and journalism. I knew in back of my mind I wanted to do it. That's why I think everything else was like
It's
boring for me,
boring. Yeah.
because I knew that's where I want to end up. That's what I want to do. But I didn't have the resources. Obviously, college dropout, no education in communication. So even if I wanted to, I even applied for a job as like just like an intern. I got rejected as an intern. They're like, no, do you have any experience in PR? I'm like, no, but I can bring you coffee and learn the ropes, So
Yeah.
I was gonna do anything just to learn. I was hungry to learn because I really wanted to do it, and I was always just amazed of how you can be like unknown, right? And then you become this like phenomenal. Like, how do you get yourself from being unknown to recognized, right? And I was always like amazed by that, like listening to stories, and I'm like, you know what, this is exactly where I need to end up. And how do I get there though?
Right.
So from my styling days, I met this incredible woman. Her name is Marella Matan, and she was amazed by my just the way I was, she called me a visionary. She's like, look, you're such a visionary. I love the way you style. Why don't you come and work for my company as a consultant? And
Mhm.
so, I mean, from there, everything changed, right? She introduced me to her PR agency, the PR firm in New York City that represented her brand. So she had a skincare line, and they sold that at Bergdorf Goodman. And
Mhm.
she's like, look, I want you to consult from my skincare line. I want you to be the face behind the brand. I'm like, oh my God, that's like everything I always wanted,
Right.
everything that I was always imagining to be. I had to go through so much in my life. And mind you, before that, I mean, in between being a cosmetologist and a stylist, I have my Series 6 and 63. So I'm an insurance broker. I have my license in real estate. I listen,
I
I
love it.
did it. I did it, but I did it the right way. And so
Right.
I'm a hard worker, I'm a hard worker, and I just want to pave my own way. I want to create my own legacy, leave a mark. That's what you're here for. You want people to look back like 100 years from now. I mean, internet will always be around, and the only
Right.
way you're going to find you is on the internet. So if you're not on the internet, if your name is not on the internet, you don't exist. I don't care how amazing you are. I don't care how many accolades you have, but if you don't announce it in the press, obviously, if you announce something in the press, you'll in turn get more clients, you'll in turn get more visibility and credibility. Unless you're like this silent partner and you have no interest in anything, and you're like, you reach the top,
Right.
then you really don't care. Okay, then you don't care. But even like Jeff Bezos, think about like him. Like he still does so many things. Like he's always on the radar, right? He's
Yes.
always striving for more. I mean, look what he did with Alexa. Not only did he build Amazon, now he's building this whole Alexa where
Right.
anything you want, Alexa will do for you. Anything happens to Amazon, Alexa can still be there.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, what he does is like he's unstoppable and he's unshakable. And she's speaking to me right now. Alexa, not now.
Because you said her name, huh? Huh? I'm listening.
So it's like, you see what I mean? Like, and I look up to him. Like, I am amazed, by his work. Like, starting from nothing, starting from a book,
Yes.
starting from just selling a book online.
Yeah.
But that's where it takes you. And the people you meet along the way, your journey, right? I never gave up. I always saw hope. There's hope. Even if when I was at my lowest, going through a divorce, and, you know, having like going through an autoimmune disease at a young age. I was 25, 26 years old, and I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease. I was losing hair in like patches. And think about it, for like for a stylist back then, your appearance, everything is
Everything.
who you are,
Mhm.
right? And so it's like I was very like, my confidence level dropped, my self-esteem. I had to, the pieces that were broken, I had to bring them back together. And I was at my lowest, but I rose like a phoenix from the ashes. And
Hello. And that's a testament right there. That's amazing that you were able to go through all of that and still come out on top. And I'm pretty sure you said that was at your lowest. So did it ever come a point where you wanted to give up or you thought that you couldn't move on?
no, giving up was never in my mind. Giving up, it was always like, how much, where what else can I do to fail? Like, for me, failure is the ultimate success. For me,
Okay.
it's like, what else can I do to fail at? So I'm like, okay, I did that, I learned. What else can I do? When you fail, even if you're trying, you meet people, it's an experience, you build on that, and then you get to where you're supposed to be, right? You obviously have a path, there's a mission for you. And so you create, it's not going to be an easy path. If it was easy, right, everyone will get to that mission right away. And so obviously books help along the way as well. I would highly recommend everyone to get Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I read
Yay, I got that right in here too.
I
I have that same book and I have it on my phone also. Yeah. Got it for my son. He has the book. That is,
Other
yeah.
book I would highly recommend by Napoleon Hill is Outwitting the Devil.
Oh, I haven't got that one yet.
That's
Okay.
the best book. The thing is, he wasn't allowed to print that book when he was alive. his wife is so afraid that he'll be judged and that the church will turn away from him, because the church was a big supporter of him. And so, like, she literally stashed the book away. And so when he passed away, they decided to publish it. And Sharon Lechter is actually a co-author. She actually helped co-author the book in like a
Nice.
version, and I interviewed her, which was amazing. Like, I always wanted to interview Napoleon Hill, right? Because he inspired me to start my own podcast. When I read his book, I'm like, okay, my journey literally in PR started from my podcast. Not only did that woman, right, that woman that saw me as a visionary and that made me her, she made me literally like into her partner, right? She introduced
Right.
me to the PR company. And so what happened was that PR company basically wanted to work with me so much because I had leverage. I could bring them so many clients, but in return, I asked them to teach me everything about PR. I wanted to be in the game. I wanted to be in their office every day and learning. And it was like a win-win. I had my family's restaurant in the city. Clients I brought to them, the my family's restaurant was their first client as well. So I gave them a lot of clients. And with the experience working in that office, even though I work for myself, right? But I had to learn the ropes, and that's how I fostered a relationship with journalists, and that's how I then became a Forbes columnist. My podcast took place in the restaurant as well. I invited like amazing celebrities and just like amazing women. I wanted to know myself. I want to polish off my skills and teach the next generation of aspiring entrepreneurs how to start their business. And I would interview these women of how do you start a business? What are the tips and tricks of starting a multi-million dollar business? Your challenges, success. You learn so much from them, right? There's
Hmm.
little nuggets like, oh, okay, you have no idea how many people I met. The network was amazing. And so my net worth obviously also doubled from all the people And yeah, so my podcast exploded, What Makes a Woman. And it was such a success. I was invited on so many different platforms. And one of them was being a Forbes columnist. They were intrigued by my story.
That's amazing that you were able to do that. And I love Napoleon Hill too. And that's part of the reason. That's what gave me an idea to start interviewing successful people. Is
Mm.
that's what he did. He went and just talked to all these successful people and found out how were they able to become successful. And I'm like, that's so intriguing, just because everyone has a different story. Everyone has their own tips and tricks on how to do it. So that's very interesting to me. And yeah, I love that book. And so reading is one thing that worked for you. Podcasting is another thing that worked for you. What else do you advise others to do if they are transitioning in careers and maybe they're uncertain about it?
Uncertain to
The
transition.
transition, yeah, because you transitioned because you were bored and maybe you didn't like this, but now you found what you want to do. So if there was someone that was watching right now and they are like us when they've tried multiple things, what advice can you give them if they are uncertain about where they are going right now? They're looking to pivot.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like I go all in. And, some people will tell you, oh, keep your job as a VC, to if you're transitioning from a 9 to 5 to another 9 to 5, I do not applaud that, because I just not a big a fan of 9 to 5, right? Everyone's replaceable. So find a side hustle while you're working as a 9 to 5, something that you're really passionate about, and start that, right? But if you're transitioning from one job to another,
Hmm.
I mean, that's not something I can give advice on, right?
Right.
But if you're starting your own business, right, you obviously need to go in on all your idea, right, and execute. An idea is great, we all have ideas, but execution is key. And so consistency as well. You don't want to be a jack of all trades. you really want to, hone in on your skills. So I would say, a lot of people tell me, but I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to start. I don't even know what I'm good at, right? And so I say, okay, look, I'll give you a microphone for 15 minutes to 30 minutes, whatever. I'll, ask you on the spot to talk about a topic that really, really intrigues you and that you're really well versed in. If that's the topic you really want to talk about, then you should run with that idea. Do whatever it is, be creative. In business, the most important thing is be creative, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
great to have all these sheets and, your business savvy, you know, have I'm not great with like keeping everything. That's what my bookkeeper is for, my accountant. For me, I'm a creative. I'm so creative that I always give birth to new ideas. I
Yeah.
always find ways to interact. So if you're not a creative, it'll be very hard for you to have your own business. It's better for you to stay in 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
agree because it's not for everyone.
know.
So that's great advice. And another thing, because I know people are watching and we do need your services. So if someone like myself who is watching and wants to have their story told and wants to be featured in national press, how can they contact Zavo Media?
Or they can just, contact us, directly, hello@zabomedia.com, or, you can directly contact me on social media, on Instagram, official Lady Zabo TV, or Zabo Media PR. That's on Instagram as well. You can start off like you were unknown. It literally, like, at 3 months, I mean, I can do
Mm-hmm.
so much with you in the next 3 more months, that.
Right.
But the 3 months were so intense, were so back to back. And what we pride on is that we don't stall time with our clients. We don't take time from you. Oh, we're working on a story. Oh, give us more time. Or, we're still writing up a story. With us, it's like back to back. We're always doing the next thing with the client. It's another strategy. Stalling time is not the best way to have a reputation as a PR agency, right? So your reputation is my reputation. What I have done for you is my reputation. So
Right.
I you know for me, that's like the most important thing. Like, I make sure that my clients are super happy with my services.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And like I'll testify to that and everything that you said you were going to do, you are doing it and you have done, and that's
Still doing it.
why I'm doing this
Now,
today.
there's a major,
Yeah.
I can't
And
spoil it.
this is who you need to have in your network. Everyone that's on here today needs to be in a network. As I'm building Joy Luck Club, just having you guys, and again, all of you guys are honorary members now. So, we're just growing and building together, spreading this wisdom. You offer services that people need. Everyone here can help someone in some sort of way. And you have been an integral part in my business since we've met because, again, telling my story, being heard, being noticed, getting recognized, and those things are very important. And you
Building your
have the ability.
credibility.
Yeah, exactly. And just listening to you today, I didn't realize we had so many things in common, because you done cosmetology. I went to cosmetology, but I didn't get the license though. But I made it almost all the way to the end. And I was like, I don't want, so many different things. And, and I'm like, oh man, she's me. So I'm going to get to your level so I can be global, which is why we're developing this app. And so the Kickstarter will launch on Saturday. And so, yeah, I just appreciate all of the support. And before we let you go today, is there anything else you would like to announce or say to anyone who's watching?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, to the aspiring female entrepreneurs, or just anyone who's watching, I would say, don't reveal your goals, but enjoy the progress, right? The progress is what should motivate you. When you say these are my goals and that's what I want to be doing, most likely you won't achieve them. Enjoy the progress and then you announce it. don't go after material things. Enjoy the experiences, because that's what defines success, right? It's not the next handbag I'm buying or the shoes. It is about the experiences, right? You can even take a adventure somewhere. You would rather travel somewhere and enjoy that adventure and learn and meet new people and have that under your belt, right? And
Yes.
that is something that I take pride in. I travel a lot for work, for pleasure, yoga retreats. Another thing I would say, smile often. Smile often so that other people know that you exist in the positive and an optimistic world, because you deserve that. You do. Your smile is something that you actually it when you smile, even if you're unhappy and you smile, you actually trigger the brain. You actually, what is that word I'm looking for? um it's like a thing, that switch that goes on your brain, even though that you're
Mm-hmm.
really pissed off, but you're
Right.
smiling right away. You get like this endorphin, like it's a
Yeah.
shot of endorphin in your mind. It's like a serotonin. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, everything is great. You can fake it, fake that smile,
Right.
but smile, right? I would also say that learn how to say no. Learn how to protect your energy, your space, and most importantly, your time. Don't be a people pleaser. If you're going to be starting pleasing everyone, you won't feel fulfilled inside, right? So it's not about others, right? You got to be selfish when it comes to self-love and self-care. And, if it's not for you, if it does not serve you, then it's just say no.
Yes.
And they'll have more respect for you. They'll have much. I mean, there's so many people I turned away because I couldn't work with them, Dion. You have no idea. The energy is not aligned. I'm like, look,
Right.
you can give me thousands more dollars, but you're gonna drain the hell out of me.
Right.
And at the end, I'm just gonna be
Never be
unhappy.
happy. Mm-hmm.
No, keep your money, all good, and I can refer you to someone else. Yeah,
Right. I love it. Yeah. Because I always say I'm not for everyone and everyone isn't for me. And I'm perfectly fine with that.
right. So that's what I would say. That's a little.
Wonderful words of wisdom, Miss
Yeah,
Liana
thank
Zavo. Thank you so very much for all that you are doing for me, all that you are doing for all of the women and clients that you have, and for your amazing son. You're doing great, and you just keep shining and keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud to know you, and thank you for joining me today. And you'll
thank
be back on Friday, right?
I will be back. And anyone that comes and mentions your name, and you need PR services, then we'll definitely accommodate you and work with
You
you.
heard that, guys. Just
Yeah.
drop Dion Joy, but definitely reach out to Miss Liana for all of your branding and PR needs. And you enjoy the rest of your day and have a great week. And I'll see you soon.
All right, girl. Take care. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Bye. Yay. So that was another successful interview today. And I'm so excited. Woo, we're doing so well. And yeah, so that's it for interviews today as far as guests are concerned. So we're going to wrap up today's summit by just me offering a few words of wisdom and just speaking a little bit. But first, I want to thank all of my guests for joining me today. What an exciting day it was. I got some amazing insight. I was able to get people to open up. Hopefully, you guys got some words of wisdom and were able to soak in some of this information. And maybe some of this information is able to help you. And so we had Mr. Walter Maxfield Jones, who came and talked about his journey from, in the entertainment industry, from being a comedian to a producer to an actor, and how that goes together. Then we had Joshua Rayford, who is a VP of music streaming for Pandora, and his journey to become an executive and starting as an intern, and how he worked his way up to where he is now in the industry and able to mentor others in the music industry. And then, of course, Miss Liana Zavo, who is my publicist, she came and shared her story and how she is able to impact and help women share their story. And I'm so grateful to have met her and to be able to have been featured in the press and to have these opportunities. And this is only day 2. We have 3 more days to go. And if you are wondering how you could support me, I just ask that you share this video, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Joy Luck Club YouTube channel, and please share our Kickstarter and please donate and help support us so that I can get this app done and completed so that you guys can have a safe place and I can help grow this community of like minds. Because as you see all this week, these are Joy Luck Club members. We are official, we are growing, we are expanding in the best way possible, and we are here to collaborate, we are here to share, we are here to help and give advice and offer resources to you guys, because that's what it's about. When you grow a community, when you have that tribe, when you have that support system, things just work better. You know, you are more happy, you are more excited about what you're doing, you feel that confidence, you are inspired, motivated, empowered, all of those positive feelings that we all deserve to feel on a daily basis. And if you need help with coaching, if you need help with your business, maybe personal development, if you aren't as healthy as you would like to be and you need help getting off your medications, you don't know where to turn, you need some advice, you're having a bad day, a bad month, a bad year, whatever that is, I'm here to spread the love and spread the joy. I'm here to help you elevate. That's what it's about. We all need that elevation, that lifting up, that support system, that network, that camaraderie that we so desperately seek every day, because we all deserve success and we all deserve abundance, but we have to have the right mindset. We have to surround ourselves with the right people, because when you are around those people, you will absorb that energy. You know, you have to let go of limiting beliefs that hold you back. You have to let go of people that hold you back. You have to let go of the habits and behaviors that no longer serve you, because we are all limitless. We have no limitations except for the ones that we put on ourselves. So if no one else can limit you, hold you back, or stop you, why are you doing it to yourself? Why are you not where you deserve to be? What are you doing that is keeping you where you are right now and stopping you from becoming the person that you are meant to be? If you don't know the answers to those questions, then please feel free to reach out so we can get down to it and we can work on it so that you can level up, so that you can elevate, so that you can become joyous, you can become fearless, you can become limitless. It may take some investing, it may take some courses, it may take some therapy, it may take, who knows, a break from social media. Who knows what it may take? We won't know until we really get down to it and really put a plan together and take action to move toward whatever goal you may have. All right. So the Joy Luck Club is here. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here to stay. It is a movement, so you can get with it or get lost. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, but we are here. We are strong, and we are on a mission to impact as many lives as possible. Okay, so if you want to join the movement, if you are looking for a tribe, if you are looking for help, if you need advice, if you want to level up, you want to elevate, okay, you want to become more healthy, you want to get your mind right, be more positive, be more happy, all right, then this is the community for you. All right, so this is day 2. We are going to close today and we will be streaming live again tomorrow at noon here on LinkedIn, here on YouTube, and here on Facebook. And tomorrow we have another round of experts coming your way, and I'm so excited that they will be here. Tomorrow we have Otha Smith, who is the CEO and founder of the Tetragram app. So he is a leader in the cannabis and technology industry. Then we have Miss Robin Hatcher, who is an actress. Okay, she is a motivational speaker, and among other things. And she is totally amazing and with her business and how she helps and influences women. And then we also have Roz Clark coming on board, and she helps women who are stuck in the lives that they don't want to be in. So she helps you get unstuck. Okay. And so tomorrow will be another exciting day of wisdom and expert advice and storytelling. Okay. So stick with me. I appreciate all of you for your support. And again, on Friday, we are doing a giveaway. So each time you tune in, each time you comment, each time you share, you are more likely to win a Joy Luck Club membership for free for a whole year, as well as an invitation to the beta version of the Joy Luck Club app. And I'm just super excited. And so, with this app, you will be able to have a community of people. You will be able to be held accountable for your actions. You can track your activity, track your productivity. You can track your working out, your meditation, your habits. Just a lot of things that you can track, whatever you want to do. We're going to have challenges within the app, challenges for prizes. There will be resources available from courses to interviews to ebooks and things of that nature. So this is a place where you can come and feel safe and get advice. You can come and promote your business. You can come and ask for collaborations. You can come for expert advice. And it's just a space where you can come, that's different from Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. Like you won't see twerking on the app. You won't scroll and see fights or see what's in the news or anything about. No, we are here to communicate with each other, to lift each other up. We're going to be hosting virtual events, and it's just a great place to be. And I'm just super duper excited because this is something that I wish I would have had on my journey, and it would have made my life so much easier and would have saved me a lot of time. So since I didn't have this, I'm creating this for you. And I'm talking to you. You who are the one who was listening. You are the one who is stuck in whatever position you are right now. You who is looking to level up. I'm talking to you. You who wants more out of life. Yes, you. You who wants to be more successful. You who wants to love yourself more and figure out how you can unleash the greatness inside of you. If you are looking to grow your network, if you are looking to build in a community and join people of like minds, if you're looking and open to collaborating, if you need help starting your business, anything that you are looking to do, that's what we offer. That's what we help you with. And so it all starts with just one phone call. So you book a call and we'll figure out what you need and we'll figure out how we can help you. And then we help you take action because you can have all the goals and dreams and aspirations you want. But if you don't take action, what are they there for? Nothing is going to happen. You will not get anything accomplished. So that's where we are for. So if you want to become joyous, become fearless, become limitless, this is where you need to be. So no one can stop you but you. So if you want to get rid of those limitations, those limiting beliefs, and you want better for yourself, you want more success, you want to learn how to change your mindset, you want an abundance mindset, okay, you're tired of that lack mindset and that lack mentality, then you need to reach out because it won't change unless you change. So if you want your life to be different, if you want to feel different, if you want to become better, then please reach out. Okay, this is more for you than it is for me. So if you are ready to become the best possible version of yourself, then please contact me. I am Dion Joy. You can find me Dion Joy on everything. You can even find me in the press. Okay, so I thank you guys for all of the support. Thank you guys for watching, for listening, tuning in, whatever you did. I appreciate that because there is no me without you. I'm doing this for all of us, and I am on a mission to impact as many lives as possible. I want to hit 1 million lives, and change 1 million mindsets in 5 years. With your help, I can do just that. And with this app, I can definitely do it. All right. And that is it. You've heard enough of me today. So please join us tomorrow at noon. Thank you so very much. Everyone, enjoy your day.